Hello everyone and welcome back to the Spearhead cast. With me, Matt. We have a 2v2 in the Western Front on Startshoot. Go through the players, shall we? Represent the Allies. We have Maverick as Ranger Company straight out the gate for the United States of America. And we have Rachel as a Commonwealth without a commander choice yet. Representing the Axis, we have Captain Airstrike as Luftwaffe Division for the Wehrmacht, and already going for Fallschirmjäger Division. Oh, we're gonna be Italian Fallschirmjäger troops? That would be so cool. And we also have Robertus as Jäger Tactics for the Waffen SS. So a lot of very elite light infantry for the Axis to fight in the town today. Oh, we have a command from Rachel. It is Royal Tank Regiment with hammer specialization. That's gonna be a fascinating choice. Oh my god, we are actually seeing the Fallschirmjäger Pioneers coming out too for the Waffen SS. This is so fascinating. I love to see different kind of playstyles like this. Triple Fallschirmjäger Pioneers. That is such an old school throwback to essentially, I believe, Company Heroes 1, where they also had like access to like a cheap Fallschirmjäger Pioneer without the gate. If you went for Luftwaffe, so that's pretty cool. I like that. So we have some firefights going on already against the British here. I think the sappers are going to need to run away from that engagement shortly, but there are some rifle sectors come up here to flank. Getting some good range shots there on the Pioneers. Two Pioneers who, yeah, they are vaulting, good to see. Need to get up behind the cover though. Like that, good to see. Here comes the Fallschirmjäger Pioneers from both ends. Because we have a lot of German light infantry and Fallschirmjäger troops trying to hold up this ruined city from the Allied advance. Then we have elite Rangers troops coming in for the US, and a tank regiment coming in for the British. That's cool to see, though. I'm not sure who's going to win that engagement, if it's going to be the Storm Grenadiers or the Rifle section. Might be the Storm Grenadiers, I'm not sure. Could go either way, actually. Luftwaffe with an MG34 arriving. Looks like the Rifle section will win, though. Meanwhile, triple Fallschirmjäger Pioneers are covering most of the flank here. They are cheap infantry, so you can actually cover a lot of ground with them. And we are seeing a take up here for the Luftwaffe. I guess they're gonna get the Jaegers shortly, which are gonna be Luftwaffe ground personnel. Rifle sections are really keeping the Germans at bay up here. Oh, Kugelwagen's going for a flank. Oh, and it's cutting down the rifle section. And that's not good, as rifle section got killed. Looks like the Waffen SS is doing pretty competently here. And a good job there with the Kugelwagen. And we just have a long firefight going on in the center vertical coming up for the US. Luftwaffe Pioneers is slowly creeping up, getting some more ground taken. MT-42 manned by some Jaegers coming up here. And in a little bit they should be able to get Jaeger infantry. We might see that coming out shortly too for the Wehrmacht. That's where we're actually going to see SS Fallschirmjägers too when they get to second tier. That would be cool. Rarely see those units being used that often, in all honesty. The Fallschirmjäger Pioneers are pushing up here behind the Rundstück. Keep it decrewed in the firefight. And MT-42 is coming up. This thing will chew through the Americans with no problem, I think. There's a vertical waiting. That's actually an old Russian tank. That's a BT-7, I think. The tank was never actually used in the game, but they had a model for a destroyed version of it in the game, which I find funny. See, we are seeing take up for the Waffen SS coming, and yeah, we are seeing Jaegers now coming out for the Luftwaffe. So maybe is he going to rely entirely on Luftwaffe troops? I love to see that. That makes Luftwaffe actually feel interesting that way. Ooh, and that vertical is chewing through that MG42 crew thanks to the ambush. Allies still don't have their fuel up here, but they might take it shortly, thanks to the British troops. MG40... Is that an MG42? That's an MG44, actually. There we go. Now here's the take-up truck for the Waffen SS. Here we have the Jaegers arriving for the Luftwaffe. Made up of Luftwaffe ground personnel. They're pretty competent infantry armed with Gewehr 43s rather than K98, so they can actually be pretty effective at medium range combat. People rarely mostly skip them and go straight for the Fallschirmjägers I found, but it's cool to see them actually being utilized. They should perform pretty well in urban environments, I think.
We have lost a squad.
Luftwaffe pioneers pushing out. Oh, good grenade from them. Like, don't underestimate the Luftwaffe troops. They're pretty decent. They can also be equipped with the MG-15. Essentially a Luftwaffe machine gun used, normally equipped on German airplanes. Pretty fascinating weapon. Oh, there's a lot of fire coming in these Fallschirmjäger pioneers though. We also have a Luftwaffe officer on the field. Actually, this is a Fallschirm... Oh, this is a Luftwaffe officer, my bad. You can see the model on him there. It's not a Fallschirmjäger Lieutenant, or Feldwebel I think it's called. But this is actually a Lieutenant of the Luftwaffe present. Ooh, British troops coming out of the flank here. They might get mowed down thanks to all the scope Sturmgewehrs. Oh, Lieutenant took out something here. And the British Lieutenant should not be underestimated. They can be pretty decent infantry as well. Oh, it's been spotted, needs to open fire. Oh, rifle grenade going out. Oh, missed. Don't think that MG-34 should stay. You also have an Untersturmführer arriving. You know, the Luftwaffe is trying to push up. There's a lot of fire coming in their way though. But smoke is obscuring the path. Double 30 cal for the United States. Okay, that's a lot of machine guns. Will the Fallschirmjäger pioneer get out of that? Looks like he will. Barely. We'll have a lot of firefights going on here. Not a lot of music at the moment. Not Kugelwagen. Universal carrier pushing up. Got a rifle grenade going out. And good one, immobilizing it. You also have the 11 Hussars here being equipped with Thompsons. That'll give the British a little bit more firepower to work with. Pouring smoke to defend the thing, but it looks like that the Fallschirmjäger pioneer is gonna throw a Brandflasche. And the music is back. Good. Going straight on it, but it did not kill it yet. Surprisingly. I think the Universal carrier is a little bit more armor than I'd anticipated. Looks like the Jaeger troops have been equipped with the MG-15. Gonna get a lot more firepower to work with. Smoke grenade going out, I think, to cover their retreats. Yep. That's enabling grenades. There we go. But they're not retreating though. I guess it's because they feel like they won the engagement. You know, the British though are threatening the Waffen SS position. We're actually setting up their forward HQ in a pretty precarious position. Ooh, that could be a bad one. Especially because they lost their MG, so they cannot use that to defend. See. Oh, we also have some Fallschirmjägers now. Our Feuertruppe. So this should be like a fire team. Essentially, these are good long range, medium range combat troops to support your other infantry. I also think we got an airdrop in with some supplies. Might be a weapon.
Our soldiers are trained to advance rapidly.
That's an MG-42. They airdropped an MG-42 for cheap. Even it only costs like, yeah, only 45 munitions. So that's a pretty cheap on your manpower. It looks like we are gonna have some Fallschirmjäger pioneers come and man it. Like 40 have been spotted. It's not looking too good for the Jaegers up here from Roberta's. They probably need some more troops. They could get some SS Jaegers, but I'm not sure that's gonna be what they pick. I'm not sure. Well, we had an airdrop coming in for the British, probably some weapons of some kind. No, some fuel back in the base. And we're seeing SS Fallschirmjägers coming out instead. Okay. Going for some more elite troops rather than just some baseline infantry. Fallschirmjäger pioneers have manned the MG-42 now. Only a 3-man team because it's the airdrop one. Can they actually see for this? Because if not, they should probably clear out that so they can actually shoot. Like it's quite down a little. Triple machine gun from the Americans. Holy shit, that's a lot of machine guns covering the American front line. That's absolutely nuts. Okay. No wonder no one is going to try and push that way. That's a suicide for any infantry. Most of the Waffen is trying to take up. Oh, MT-42 stopped an American rifleman push there. Going on now pretty effectively. I guess you can fire through this. Oh, white phosphorus going in here. Not good for the Waffen SS troops. You'll probably get some distance from it. Fire for effect here. But there is a MT-44 stolen by the British here. Need to see what the Waffen do in this situation up there. But it looks like both sides are just kind of fortifying the southern flank. Rangers having a little bit of a standoff with the US Rangers. FT-42s are being equipped on the Fallschirmjägers. Pretty competent choice. Very powerful, very powerful weapon actually. Thunderstone Fury is hiding, which is an ability you can do if you're playing as a Jäger. Essentially all your officers can actually sneak and hide. And serve as recon. And MT-42 and Sender calling down more Americans as they try to push up. Gonna be very hard for either side to make a move here, but supplies are being airdropped in for the Luftwaffe. Oh, starts to people on the fields. This is a Luftwaffe officer. Calling in a recon run by looks of it. Here it comes. Okay, some good strafings there. It can also be enforced thanks to the beacon nearby, which has a pretty long reinforcement radius for airborne troops. Only airborne troops though. Does not affect your normal infantry. Matchmaker retinue also moving up. Gonna use some high explosive flak artillery coming in. The American artillery was called in return though. Oh, and the flak hit around the AT gun, decrewing it again. Oh, I'm not sure it's looking that good for the Waffen SS though. They have been pushed back pretty hard, but they are getting a lot more Fallschirmjäger SS, so they should be do a good job if they equip correctly. They already have been given the FT-42s on one squad. But they're gonna use the building. Man, it has a lot of buildings, a lot of windows. And that's a good flanking spot too. Oh, and Universal carry down thanks to the pack. American position is still holding. Scott coming out, that's going to be very hard for the Luftwaffe to deal with, I think. Luftwaffe has also gotten a light field gun. It's cool to see just Fallschirmjäger forces being used. Makes it actually feel vindicated to actually pick the doctrine, because you're actually getting the most benefit out of it by using the units you get. And more munitions are just being airdropped in, so the Luftwaffe can just keep using airstrikes. Light field gun is setting up here. They need some AT options though, but they don't know a Scott is on the way. The light field gun will help them deal with American fighting positions like this. As you can see, it's auto-firing because it's still in range. That's going to be able to do a lot of damage. Well, flak called in. Oh, yeah, that killed the gun. But the Scott is now in the fields. Until we're calling on the center here, white phosphorus. And that British lieutenant has done a lot of work already. They need to be careful around that Scott though. The Scott can hit pretty hard if it hits something. Let's have a howitzer after all. Yeah, it killed the light infantry gun right there. They are pretty clumped up. Ooh, MT-42 team almost got killed there. And if Fallschirmjägers are still inside the building, that's going to give them a very good position. Looks like this place has already been turned into a forward operating base, so they can retreat to it. A Kettenwerfer also called in from it. Essentially an 8.8 centimeter rocket. from like a mobile little platform utilized by the Fallschirmjägers, I believe, and other units, but generally it was mostly a Fallschirmjäger weapon, I believe. Pretty strong to actually deal with enemy vehicles, in all honesty. Like, recruit infantry gun is the question. More Fallschirmjägers are being called in too. Recruit straight from the tent, which you can do actually. You don't have to get them from just your base. Setting up an ambush, good to see. SS Fallschirmjäger Pioneers are pushing up here. Ooh, they took out the MG-34 team. Oh, we also have some 1st Assault Brigade engineers coming out for the British now. A little more varied infantry coming in. And here's a veteran C3 Churchill Mark IV. Because as you do, why not just get something that'll punch straight through the German defenses? Or that's something the Germans don't even have anything to pierce.
They're trying to take it.
Because the Churchill's pretty damn armored. Meanwhile, more munitions are being airdropped in for the Germans. They're maintaining a lot of munitions to get more airstrikes from.
Manufacturing capability.
You can also replenish from the camp, which all the infantry can replenish from, not just the airborne troops. Meanwhile, the Americans have prepared a pretty That's 4 machine guns? That's 4 machine guns, holy shit! Looks like the Americans are covering the entire front line in machine gun fire.
Anti-tank gun.
Looks like one of the black positions got decrewed. And there goes an MG-42. And an infantry gun is opening fire. Definitely quite a different battle, I like it. But the church is about to reveal itself here for the SS troops. So we have some SS stormtroopers on the field as well. It's actually Gewehr 43 if you are playing as Jäger, I think. Pack 4 is sitting up, but I don't think a Pack 4 is going to be able to stop a freaking Churchill. On a straight front came in here, did not do much for the Luftwaffe. Oh, actually penetrating shot from the Pack. Not bad. Didn't do too much damage, but then again it did force to move back. Half-man for the Luftwaffe coming out now. Already being upgraded with also cannon combat patrol. That could be pretty damn devastating for the Americans. The Allies don't have a lot of AA in the field at all. They actually don't have any AA. The Luftwaffe could play around with them. Recruiting the flag by looks of it. Like it's lost its sandbags. That's awkward. Yeah, well, the stormtroopers are pushing up. They don't have any support, though. That's not what they do. Have some Fallschirmjägers nearby. The Churchill's still getting repaired. Oh, the Churchill's moving up, though. It's suppressed because the Vickers K on top. Now, the Churchill, if you're playing as tank, has the advantage of you can have both a tank officer and a Vickers K. So this thing can be very, very effective at dealing with all kinds of threats. And Bobby has some kind of artillery going in there. It's not looking good for the Luftwaffe trying to hold back the Americans. I might need to invest in some heavier anti-tank. Or just something with longer range, because the Raketenwerfer doesn't have a lot of range. Oh yeah, but the Waffe SS is lacking stuff that can fight Churchills. We do have triple pack though. Try and keep them at bay. To recall in. Oh, good shot destroying the main gun of the Churchill. Oh, but that's a lot of artillery. More munitions coming in. Yeah, it's very hard for the Raketenwerfer to get a shot off. Oh, good shot for the Panzerschreck there from the Fallschirmjägers.
Gun carrier just got knocked out.
That's one of the advantages of using the Fallschirmjägers too. They can get like a better Panzerschreck. This one. Essentially, it's been modified with a... It has a modified warhead and a shorter bell, which somehow makes it better. I'm not sure how that works exactly, but I'm not an expert on rocket-based weaponry. Just trying to lay low. I need to get back. Other Fallschirmjägers are nearby. With an MG42 to try and suppress. Luftwaffe is going to move on probably to try and use another strafing run. Yeah, it's called in. Where's the Hauptmann? There he is. But the combat patrol's not ready yet. He has to wait longer. He's calling in a bombing run though. Oh! Looked like it hurt. Oh, very good bombing run there. Very different battle though. Very different battle on one side, and actually this has just been a very different battle with how we're dealing with things. Yeah, the Churchills are definitely gonna be pushing up on all these packs. Will the SS be able to stop them? Sexton coming up behind it as well. Luftwaffe is definitely using the fact that they have air support for once to their advantage.
Our soldiers are trained to advance rapidly.
While the Americans are focused on digging in. Lots of prepared German positions here. And the SS Fallschirmjäger is also pretty lethal. More flak artillery coming in. It's a cheap artillery, so yeah, only 25. It's not that big artillery, but it works. It's also not very effective, as you can see. Who's got to be recruit? Panzerschreck on the Feldwebel. Oh, he missed. Yeah, the Germans have to pull back at that. That's huge. And here's the second Churchill threatening the German positions. This Churchill got hit by a lot of packs. Has been immobilized. Ooh, 5 phosphorus in one pack. Seems like it hit the barricade and not the pack itself, which is lucky. Now the other Churchill's not facing much threat. This other pack needs to turn around and get ready, I think. Oh, more packs called in, okay. What's with all the why did they get so many? Well, I suppose they do need all the packs to deal with all the tanks, but double packs like that? Okay. That's a lot of pack. I suppose if you need pack, you get pack. Also kind of coming in, destroying the Scot. Looks like the Luftwaffe is at least doing their job today. And looks like the combat patrol is ready. I think with that, I could threaten that allied position very fast. A big pack front has been established here by the Waffen-SS. There's packs everywhere. Packs. Packs absolutely everywhere. Britain's not getting anything else at the moment. They're calling artillery there. It looks like it's going to be white phosphorus. Yeah, that's pretty damn dangerous. But I think the Hauptmann is waiting for an opening with some site where you can call in a full-on combat patrol. Because that will definitely be a problem for the Americans there. Because the Allies have not gotten any AA up. Which you probably should invest in if you know your enemy is Luftwaffe. There we go, combat patrol going out. That's gonna lock down this whole area. And here it comes. At the same time, another artillery has been called in down here. Or flag artillery. Oh, that's another strafe, actually. Oh, that was a bomb, okay. Yeah, the Luftwaffe is going completely ham today. Man, Captain Airstrike is living up to his name. Oh my god. I haven't seen that well-functioned airstrike in a long time. With just lots of planes going in at various targets. Some of them are being shot when they get near the British positions, though. Due to all the Vickers case. But that's why you should always get AA if you know your enemy is a commander that has a lot of air power. But like, this flank has been completely opened up now for the Luftwaffe. That must have been painful. Meanwhile, though, the Churchills are still able to push up, they just need to get prepared. Comet coming up behind us. And the Comet will definitely be a problem to deal with as well. Although I think going for a Crocodile might have been a better choice, personally. I'm not gonna be the one to be the judge of that, because I just think in this kind of urban environment, the Crocodile might be really good.
Pioneer Group is ready for action.
Yeah, the Americans lost practically everything. Jumbo tank coming up, but that might be a little bit too late. Luftwaffe is slowly creeping up now, with the rubble left by the airstrike. I'm not sure what Maverick is talking about. Anyway, the British are still pushing up. I don't think this pack front is going to be enough. Because the pack front has also been cleared out a little bit.
An anti-tank battery is ready for deployment.
Germans need to prepare a lot of anti-tank here. Meanwhile, the Luftwaffe just keeps pushing up on the other flank. Like, very good from Captain Airstrike. I really loved seeing that airstrike pulled off. Oh, let's see. Meanwhile, it looks like the whole Air Force is flying overhead. But it's got shut down by the flak. Which is kind of the advantage you get for playing the Waffen-SS. You get like a free AA from your final tier, which is also another reason why I don't think you should have base AA defense if you're playing the Waffen-SS. This gives you a little bit too much of an advantage in that aspect. And now there's a Jumbo. And while the pack may not do well against a Jumbo, I think a Panzerstrick can. Generally, rocket-based artillery, rocket-based anti-tank weapons is generally pretty good at piercing heavier armor. Grenade going over this bush area. Really good throw there. Someone has definitely been playing basketball. Oh, it's baseball. Baseball, that's the one. Sorry, I'm not that good at American sports. I apologize. Hand for coming up for the Waffen-SS though. Yeah, well, the Jumbo is pushing up pretty aggressively at the Luftwaffe. Oh, taking out the pack too. Luftwaffe does have a Panzerstrick, but he misses. Looks like the Luftwaffe missed this time, thanks to the smoke. Panzer's arrived, though. That will try to deal with the Churchills, I think. Grenade there on the pack. There's a combat nearby to try and counter the Panther, though. Oh, but the Panther focuses the combat. No penetration. Quick hit there from the Churchill though, but combat is down.
Lost its swines, just knocked out a vehicle. Send your orders.
German 76 coming up behind to support the Jumbo. The Luftwaffe is still holding on here. Oh, Panther's been immobilized by artillery strikes. That's not looking good here for the Waffen SS. And let's see. I guess the priest has been doing a little bit of work. Yes, it has. 23 kills. Priest is generally a good choice. Oh, we also have a Centaur called in. Probably to help support the Americans with dealing with all the German air. I can set up near the front and put the orders be in AA mode. Oh, Church is running straight on the Panther. That's probably not the best call. Oh, it's trying to kill the Pioneers though. That might be a waste of a Churchill. Oh. Looks like it got out of there. That's the one part of the Churchill. It's very, very sturdy. Like, it gets penetrated, but it has a lot of health. Which means it can survive a lot of shells penetrating it, which is very handy. Well, the Panther, I believe, only has about the same HP as a Panzer IV, so while it may have good armor, it's not very sturdy. But the Panther is a pretty good tank. And the Luftwaffe is still just getting more and more supplies down here. Infantry are behind this ruined car. That's a Veteran 5 rifleman though. That was a Veteran 5 rifleman. Luftwaffe pushing up aggressively. Looks like another air patrol has been called in. ACAC is up and in AA mode. That should start to get work done. Let's have a look. Yep, and ACAC is working. There we go, and that's the planes down. And that's why you get AA.
Enemy causing trouble, trying to take
Anti-air will deny the enemy air superiority. Stormtrooper is trying to secure that point. Panther is having a brawl. Oh, got penetrated there by the 7-incher, 6-incher, I think. 6-pounder. That's the word. Looking British in their way of naming things. Yeah, don't mind the 6-pounder. It's actually pretty decent. Don't underestimate the AT gun, even as a smaller caliber. If it penetrates, it will do some damage. Another Comet coming up for the British too.
armor here.
Americans need some field presence though. They need more troops.
Time for action.
Not sure what's going on here yet. Jumbo is still in the field though. They just need something to push up with. The Rakettenwerfer is just waiting here in ambush. Oh, Panzer shot might come out here. Getting hit. Oh, is the Panzer gonna creep up? Oh, also they hit the Jumbo with a shot there. Very risky move there. You don't want to have a Rakettenwerfer out in the open. It being a 3-man team can really show. There go more Fallschirmjägers moving up.
A peg gun is ready for orders.
And they also have the light infantry gun present to bombard the American position. They have all the gear they need. Another Scott called in here for the United States. And we have another airstrike coming in. This time it's a fragmentation.
Our soldiers are trained to advance rapidly.
Still dropped its bombs though.
Engine ticking over.
Panther pushing up now. Hammer is in front. Good shot though. Hammer did not penetrate. Time for getting a Panzeroffizier. That'll definitely make it work better in tank-to-tank fighting. We also have Hauptsturmführer for the Jägers present.
Standing by.
And more munitions here drop in for the Luftwaffe. They probably have enough munitions to keep... Yeah, he's using a lot of it, but he is getting a lot of it too, thanks to all the airdrops. So he can keep up the pressure with the airstrikes. Which is kind of what you're meant to do. Oh, Panther's been immobilized. Now that's a pretty big deal. Problem is the Churches don't have a lot of penetration, so they could just repair the tracks here. Oh, one penetration. That's gonna buy the British some time. Oh, another penetration from the Churchill. Churchill's not that bad of a tank, in all honesty. What's the Sexton doing?
Ready for action. A few less
He's gonna use direct fire.
promotions are heat shapes.
He's trying to do direct fire.
One of our anti-tank guns is gone.
Good shot, straight on the Panther right there.
Contact armor.
Hammond moving up,
Mission.
penetrating,
Relay order.
and Churchill gets the kill. It's very hard to fight a lot of British heavy armor though, so I don't blame them. The Brits have some pretty effective gear.
Taking over. Under fire.
Which I suppose you would expect of the Commonwealth.
Ready to motor.
More rifle sections coming out for the British.
Bloody good show, gunner.
And the Common Indians are moving up too with the Assault Brigade.
A new infantry section is ready for battle.
And while the Luftwaffe is still creeping up on the American position though. The Americans have lost a lot. They still have the Jumbo though. Looks like both sides are pushing up on each other's forward bases. Good shot there from a Raketenwerfer. And there we go, Jumbo down. Yeah, both sides have kind of crippled each other's flank. Luftwaffe have crippled the Rangers, and Royal Tank have crippled the Waffen SS Jägers.
Damn.
Oh, Comet has been immobilized. Another Panther is arriving though.
Panther. Ready to enemy effective fire.
Not good for the Comet. Comet taken care of. Raketenwerfer creeping moving up on the flank here.
Crew ready.
And more munitions here dropped.
Water upgrade completed.
The
Combat unit ready.
Fire vehicles are still pushing a lot of pressure. Still no vehicles for the Luftwaffe. Yes, they don't need it. And that Akak has gotten a fair few kills already. Oh, good attempt with the pass strike there, but it missed. Looks like the Panther's rushing up to try and get a shot in. No penetration. Churches are pretty hard to pierce. It's a veteran 4 Churchill, oh god! I think it's gonna be very, very hard to deal with. They immobilized the Panther.
Suppressive fire! Suppressive fire! Send order! Contact! Enemy fire! Under small fire!
And so far looks like the Panther's holding though. Americans are just trying to dig in on their side now. Well, they're probably hoping the British can push through the Jaegers. Oh good, the priest is... not the priest, the Sexton is simplified. It's a veteran in 5 Sexton! Holy shit. And the boy's 80 rifle keeps immobilizing it. Oh yeah, it's not looking good here for the Waffles. They're going to lose that forward infantry headquarters. But the Panther is operational again.
Vehicle has been dispatched.
Kenworth was trying to get up on the flank here, I think, or just pulling back to a better position. Oh, double anti-sectors are ready here to try and stop the Churchills from the Luftwaffe. We have Stormtroopers in the center here with Sturmgewehr. And for taking some pretty big hits. More munitions there dropped in for the Luftwaffe.
Officer reporting. Artillery ready.
But we have Long Tom coming up here now for the Ranger Company. That's a pretty big one. That's pretty powerful. The Long Tom fires some pretty big shells. 155mm. SS outclan the field to spot for the Panther. But they were spotted. They were spotted briefly by the artillery. Panther's getting some good shots in. Not sure what those rifle sections are doing. Oh my god, the base flag is in there. That's another reason to not have these flags. You see, they're doing friendly fire. Just give them the MG42 bunker instead. Like, come on. Oh, and then there goes that guy. Or will Pete coming in? When a long time, that's very close range fire. For a long time. I don't think most of the Luftwaffe troops were not actually present there.
Rear echelon troops on the front line.
Imagine using a long time that close. And that's the power of the Agak.
Tank ready and waiting.
Fighting against some winning engagements there. I really wish they did the officer change. I'm not sure when they're gonna do it, but there's gonna be like a thing where officers work a little bit differently with their abilities. So you kind of just send them out to suicide missions, basically. Yeah, he's gonna get cut down there.
Infantry squad has been killed.
Panther still moving upwards. Oh, second Panther's arrived. Double Panther, that's actually pretty good. That one has to pull back for repairs though. But the Churchills do have rapid rate of fire. Oh, and they immobilized one. You can probably see what I mean with rapid rate of fire.
Ready for instructions. Heavy tank.
That's the quick fire gun for you. Good old British quick fire guns. That Panther needs to just keep him pulled back for repairs. You don't want to have this thing stay out there. A double Churchill that's a veterans working together. That's a pretty hard one to beat. Generally heavy tanks working together is generally very hard to beat. Suppose that is how they are designed. Americans pushing off at the center. There's still no Rangers actually from I guess he's just entirely relying on the B4. Not the B4. It's Long Tom.
Prepare yourselves.
Oh, he moved the Panther too late, I think. This one Church is about to flank here. Did you smoke? Good, that's gonna give him some time.
Enemy fire! Enemy fire! Completed! Standing by!
And over here you have double Fallschirmjägers here. With FT-42s and Panzerschrecks. And And the Sexton is still trying to pinpoint where the Panther is. Oh, he's just going for the Panther HQ, that also works. If you can deny future Panthers, that was also a good idea. But the Fallschirmjägers are pushing up pretty aggressively still. Ah, they want to take out the Long Tom and the Akak, don't they? Bombing run going in, but they still have the Akak. Like you see, that made it not drop all the bombs because it manages the downtime. Because the Akak has a very high turn rate. Now the Akak destroyed the Long Tom because it's hit the unfriendly terrain. That's gonna buy the Axis some more time by getting rid of that Long Tom. Panther is operational again. Getting Schützen, side skirts. But the Allies are still just pushing up slowly. Several assault brigades already. And the Churchills are moving. Or one Churchill is anyway. Also the British officers are moving together by the looks of it, Lieutenant and Captain. Sharing a little bit of stories, wartime stories as they're moving. Or perhaps they're related. It is the British Army after all. Oh, commented up, penetrate. Oh no, overall not done well today. Yep, ammo rack from the Panther. I guess the Churchills just do better. Another Long Tom being set up. Triple Panzer 4H being prepared by Luftwaffe. I guess it's the time to call in all the fuel. Use all the fuel anyway. Get some Panzer forces into support. What's really calling on the SS Panzer headquarters? Looks like it's White Phosphorus. That destroyed it. A good shot there on the Churchill. Oh, another good penetrating shot there from the Churchills. These Churchills are doing amazingly. Like, no wonder the Germans are having such a hard time. Like, veterancy Churchills is a pretty big threat evidently.
Panzer 4 is ready for battle.
Ooh. Here comes another Churchill, but this one might show its flank here to the Panther. No penetration still. Luftwaffe is going in again. But the Akak is just shooting them down. Glorious Akak. But the Panzer 4Hs are being prepared. They're probably going to try and overrun the Allied base.
Our infantry can now rush into the enemy line.
I guess the Panther just has to hold the British at bay. That's all it has to do. But these tricks are getting reliable penetrating shots. I'm honestly impressed. The Panzer IVs are on the fields. They have to get moving. And the Panther's having a hard day. The Panzer IVs are moving. They could actually move to flank around, but I don't think that's their intention. Oh, they immobilized the Panther. This is what the Fallschirmjägers are for. They're gonna try and deal with the Churchill. Oh, Blancorp are going out.
Enemy forces are securing our territory. Luftwaffe supply overflights are ready and await.
Looks like the Sexton is opening fire again.
Ready.
Looks like the Fallschirmjägers have been pinned again. Oh well, the Brits are doing a really good job keeping their Churchill safe. But the Panzer Force need to make a move. Oh, there is still American AT available. More Storm Pioneers getting onto the field. They just need to get that thing repaired. When is Captain Astra gonna make their move? They need to act quick. The Panther is ready again though, and it is veterancy free. The Panther is getting better and better. Artillery called in on the German base. Some more white phosphorus. Not hitting much though. Panzer Force making their push. Alongside more bombing runs going in. Oh, first thing out the machine gun. The Panzer Force should really be blitzing.
Our soldiers are trained to advance rapidly.
You only want to blitz at this point. Because I think blitzing makes you harder to hit while you're moving. Oh, they immobilized two of them. That's not good. That's why you should have blitzed and just keep driving. But this AT gun is going to have good shots.
Our Panzer forces have been reduced by one.
Luftwaffe is trying to push up though. Meanwhile, the German base is being bombed. The Panther is still trying to keep the Churchills at bay. Ooh, and the AT gun keeps getting reinforced. Oh, it's been decrewed.
We lost an anti-tank gun. Ready to go.
I don't know why Maverick says that, because the Senator went to support him. Yeah, the AT grenades from the American Waffen are not going to do anything to Panzer IV, just to the front. They're way too frontally armored. I think the British just have to try and push here. Because the Germans are now threatening the Allied base. That's something the Allies can afford, I think.
What's the mission?
And the Americans aren't even getting anything else. Roberto certainly does not like Churchills. And Maverick drops. Well. And Maverick, I think you made yourself clear on that part. Looks like the Germans are just going to be able to move into the Allied base at this point. With all the Luftwaffe troops.
Behind our lines. Headquarters attacked.
Pretty aggressively at that. Another Panzer IV coming out as well. And the Panther, still desperation, is trying to keep the Churchill at bay.
Tank commander awaiting next orders.
HQ is under attack. Typical enemy trick, isn't it?
That's really calling out German positions. Yeah, the British have completely lost this at this point, I think. That said, they did push up very aggressively on the German base here with the Churchills. Oh, he's also trying to go for a base run. It's a base raid time. Or base race, I think it's called, actually.
We've lost a squad of infantry.
But I think the Germans might have the advantage there. Yeah, it looks like the Germans win this.
Forward elements report and infantry unit lost.
Oh, good shot there from the Panther. American base entirely down? Well, almost entirely down. And Rachel calls the quits.
Our headquarters are under fire.
That was certainly a very interesting battle. I hope you all enjoyed that one. I'll see you next one, everyone. Bye-bye.